Go Dope or Go Home. This is your host, Amber Lane, and I got my girl, Asia, in the building with me this week. Okay.
Wagwan.
Period. So we're about to get right into it, y'all. So the title of this week's podcast episode is Comparison Kills. So we're going to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome and what that looks like. But before we do that, I really want you guys to know my homegirl, Asia. So, Asia, who are you? Simply. So I know we met through a mutual friend after the Vibes on Vibes concert tour, period. Okay, it was so fun. We met there, but I want people to know really who you are.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm a child of God. So let's let that be known. P.S. I'm an R&B singer, and let's also let that be known. But I'm Asia Pearson. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm signed to Eric Bellinger. I'm his first signed artist. And
is.
Yeah, I'm pretty lit, I think. You think?
Oh, I know.
Just a little bit. You know, I write my own music. And yeah, that's pretty much me.
I'm with it.
I just be cool.
So at the concert, we're gonna dip into your music a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
At the concert, I was really like drawn to your music. So like we were like, you know, doing our own thing, and when you got up, it was like you demanded people's attention. So it was like, stop what you're doing. Like, okay, who is this girl, right? So then you started singing, and your music is not just music. Like, you actually have a meaning behind your music. I know some artists like just create music just for the vibe or just for the trend, like the trend at the moment. But your music actually has a message behind it. And first of all, one of my favorite songs off your EP is HWGH. I don't know what it is, but I will play that song 45 times and I listen to the rest of the album. Like, I'm not even capping to you. Like, the rest of the album is great, the EP is great, but I'm just like, no, let's hear this about 20 times. Like,
I think it's funny you said that because on the analytics, that's not everybody's favorite song.
Really?
But that's my favorite song on there.
I mean, like, When I Leave is like dope. Therapy, it might be like, is my second.
I love that.
For real. So that's like 2.
Therapy
3 is Tired for me.
Everybody loves Tired.
Now I gotta figure out I'm not gonna even go there, but
like,
that will put me in my feelings. And sometimes,
yeah, for sure.
and sometimes I don't like being in my feelings because it just really makes me feel some kind of way. Like,
But you like therapy, and therapy is like extremely.
It is there
vulnerable.
It is, but I think that's what really like connected. I know, like when I heard your music at that time, I was not in the best space. So I think it was more, your music was more relatable to me at the time because it was just like, dang, somebody else like really go through like, you know, what I'm going through, like, you know, the suicide and just the depression, the grief, all of that, like in one, dealing with relationships, like all of that. I think that's why it made it so relatable. So can you talk a little bit about, you know, why you wrote the songs?
So it's called Therapy, and it was inspired by a relationship that failed that I really wanted. But
it's the clear throat for me.
But in the relationship, I grew so much as a human being that I began to see things differently. Like when I ended the relationship, I like literally broke up with him on a Friday. On a Monday, I called all the people that molested me because I needed to have that conversation.
Wow.
So when I broke up with him, something was said like, you run away from your problems. You always run away from your problems. You need to go figure that out. And I was like, you know what? Well, I'm going to go face it then. And literally did it. And so from healing, going through the healing phase of facing molestation, I started to see things differently and hear things differently and comprehend things differently. So my thought process writing it was for me to, because people take relationships a little too surface level nowadays, and they don't realize how real it is. Like, that was a real relationship for me because it wasn't just about, oh, I like you, I love you, I want to be booed up, I want to be cuddled, It's not about that. We literally were going and facing trauma with each other, which is why it didn't necessarily work out, because we didn't understand each other's perspectives of how to care for this human while they haven't even healed from what they need to actually be healed from to grow for this to work. So therapy was my way of giving people the words to say when they don't know how they feel.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's what it was. And then I went through basically like a whole little century of my life. I was suicidal from like 8 to 17. Literally, it stopped at 17. So tired was my way of just helping people understand it's okay to be tired. Like, say it. Like, I'm tired. It just is what it is. You ain't got to take yourself up out of here.
Yeah.
Just confess it. Like, oh, I'm tired. Okay, so now something needs to change. We need to do something different. I need help. I need to go get help. And so I actually got a therapist before I actually wrote therapy.
Wow.
Black lady. I love her. Shout out to her.
And I said it's crazy because honestly that you said that, I can honestly see that. Like, you pretty much gave people the conversation starters, like, to whatever they needed to, like, confront.
Exactly.
Like, that's really, like, it's low-key, like, smacking my brain a little bit because it is, like, that's good.
Yeah, because therapy, the song, I don't want to put business out there, but it was part my story, part his story. I just made it all my story for the song purpose. But me saying touched and abused was because I was molested. Me saying I have abandonment issues is because that was the other side of that relationship. You know, I don't want to say it. I'm trying to say it without saying it. But those were the issues. And it was just like, it's not even that I'm mad at you. It's not even that we have these issues. These are the issues that we're dealing with, and I haven't faced it. And I need you for this. So let's talk about the abandonment issues. Let's talk about how I was touched and abused. You know. But people don't have those conversations. People don't have those conversations
at all. Your emotions.
They don't even know how.
Yeah, but
and it's okay.
That's true.
But let's do it.
Yeah, but a lot of times our emotions, like, especially in our community, we're not taught to talk about our emotions. It's more so just like heal and then like the chips fall where they may.
Leave it alone.
Versus actually talking about it. When you talk about it, you end up finding sometimes solutions to whatever you're going through because you're actually, like you said, I'm actually tired. It's okay to say that you're tired. Right. And then it's okay to go and find a solution behind that.
Exactly.
But just, you know, we're not taught to.
We were not taught how to process things. And we process so much during the day. Just waking up. Like,
yeah,
I don't feel good. Just because my head hurt, my stomach hurt. Okay, so now I got to go work. Now I got to show up to work. Now my boss mad because I wasn't on time and now it's this and that. And then my mama just called and she said, the doctor said this to her and now I'm about to cry, but I can't. It's so much that we have to process in a day, let alone all the things that we experienced as children. And we're growing. We're kids. We don't know that things should be processed. We're just in it, absorbing it, and then we grow up and we become it not even knowing. And so that's why I wrote therapy, because people need to realize it's time to face these things and realize that it's something to face. People don't even know there's something wrong with them. They be like, no. Like, if I talk to somebody about molestation, they say, yeah, it happened to me, but it don't affect me. And I just be like, it's crazy because we just sat here and had a whole conversation, and I knew it without you even telling me that you can identify with that. But I'm going to let you take your journey, but just, you know, kind of lean on it a little bit and see if it's something there, because it affects you absolutely.
Absolutely.
I have attachment issues because of molestation. I have the over-loving issue. Like, I don't run away from love. I run into it hard because it's like, no, I want to please you. I want to please you. Because it kind of messes up your identity of what pleasing somebody should look like. So it's just like, overdo it. That's the way it affected to me. Some people withdraw from love and they don't touch me. I don't want to do that. They more selfish. Like, if you ain't doing this for me, so people just don't know. So that's why it was important for me to write therapy. And it's a volume too, so I can't wait to get to that part.
Oh my God, please jump right now. So make sure you guys go stream that, because I'm telling you, it's just the EP itself is literally therapy. Like, I can listen to the album on an hour drive, like, and be like, fine. Like, I don't need to change it. It's cool. Like, it's a vibe for sure. And like I said, it's not just the music at some point it does. One of the songs on your EP is going to relate to somebody, and that's something else that I do like too. That it's just not to that one person.
Exactly.
Your music is literally to everybody. So when I leave, it may not be for me right now, but maybe in a year or so.
When I leave, no.
Maybe. It was just, I don't know. It was just, the whole EP is just dope.
Thank you.
So kudos to you,
I
man.
appreciate it a lot.
Kudos to you. So let's get into imposter syndrome.
I love this that you didn't tell me this.
I did. I emailed it to you.
Oh, dang, did you? And I love that I didn't look at it.
So imposter,
we ain't got to pre-do it. Now we just giving it.
Natural. That's how we do. Period. So what is your definition of imposter syndrome? And why do you think that we make ourselves feel a certain kind of way? And I'm going to say a certain kind of way because I don't necessarily want to put any emotion on it. Mm-hmm. But we feel a certain kind of way when we feel like we're not qualified to be in a room with people who's just like you. Just like you.
Say it one more time.
So I want you to define imposter syndrome.
I know that part.
And what makes you feel that you are qualified to be in a room with people just like you?
Okay. So imposter syndrome to me, I feel like that is the mental battle between you and your insecurities. And so you try to find an identity so that you can be relatable to other people, not knowing that your own identity of who you actually are is what's going to benefit you in this room where you feel like you're not worthy to be in this room because of who these people are. And it's funny because sometimes I go in rooms and I just be like, okay, God, I'm trying to, exude the God is within me. I cannot fail thing. But I know my real life, and it doesn't align with these people's real life. And it just looks like their life is a little better than mine. So it's like, why you put me in here? But it's like, if you're in there, you are in there for a reason. And you have your own name. You have your own eye color. You have your own way you walk, the way you talk. And everybody is looking at you like, wow, look at this girl. Like, who is that? And the whole time you in your head like, I don't understand. Like, why am I even here? Because I really go through that. Like, people come up to me all the time. You so confident. I just love the way that you And I'm just like, okay, I don't feel it yet. But you see it, and so I'm going to try to see it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's probably the most that I could say about it because I identify with that definition. So yeah.
I agree. That's a really good one. You and your insecurities.
For sure. Because
a lot of times, I know especially for like women, we do it amongst each other. So like, for sure. And then it becomes a whole. What'd you say?
Especially now.
Yeah, especially with social media. Social media is really like, it's a blessing and a curse. Mm-hmm. But like, it will literally make you sit on Instagram all day long and look at everybody else's like pages. Like, oh yeah,
I wish.
But she my age. Oh,
it be the she my age for me.
Yeah,
and it be like, okay, God. Okay, so what am I doing wrong?
Where did I miss the market? Right here. Did I go down the wrong path?
I understand. Do I need the rapper? I never wanted that lifestyle, but if that's how you get there, y'all could have just told me that. But it's just like, that has nothing to do with you.
At all.
It has nothing to do with you. Even when it comes to the body thing, no, I'm not the one to body shame. I'm pro body. I'm pro whatever you feel like is right for you. I just feel like look into it more before you make a permanent decision off a temporary feeling.
Facts.
Because then now people getting sick. Now people got to get the booty removed. Now people having fluids flow through their brain. Mm-hmm. It's just like y'all doing the most to get attention and don't want to say it like that because I don't need attention. And it's like, but you like it, and it's okay that you like attention. But you need to figure out, why is it that I need this attention? Mm-hmm. What is it that I don't understand about how I feel about myself? And when I look in the mirror, that it's not resonating with me, and that I feel like I need to go look like everybody. Everybody looks the same these days.
Sheesh.
And it breaks my heart. But, you know, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
To give you therapy volume 1, 2, 3 until we get it.
Till it clicks.
Just a little bit, even if it's not a whole lot.
Well, I think that's key. Finding out your why, honestly.
For sure.
Why are we doing some of the things that we're doing?
We
why
definitely
are we,
need to question ourselves.
Like, it's definitely self-reflection, self-examination, because, I mean, why do you feel like you have to come into a room and be shook? Like, we're all people. We're all human. So why do we, like, and then my question becomes, like, why do we put pressure amongst other people to feel like, now, yes, have standards. Yes, have the confidence. Yes, have that vibe. But at the same time, what is it about me that's making somebody else feel uncomfortable to come into the room that I'm sitting in? Sometimes it's confidence, sometimes it's not. But sometimes it's an air about people that they have, like, oh, you got to come here correct. And you should. But at the same time, babe, you're just a human like me. We all pee together. We all
for
poop
sure
together. We all pass gas. Like,
for sure. The pass gas is
hilarious. It's like, who are you? Like, what makes you feel like you're just...
You know, I feel like there are people who have taken themselves through personal development to where they've developed to a place where, in my head, it's okay to set boundaries and say, no, you need to get yourself together before you can come around me, because number one, I have to protect my peace. I have to protect my energy. I have to protect the things that I'm not responsible for. Now that I'm knowledgeable of certain things, I can't have certain people around me. And so for me to trust you with my space, it's just like communicate at that point. Don't give, she can't sit with us. No, she can't. Give it a little more love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done the self-work. I want you to understand I don't mean no harm. But at this time, I don't think that I can put myself with you. I don't think you could benefit from me, and I don't think I could benefit from you right now at this time. I don't think people communicate well or even know to communicate that way to make somebody feel like, okay, maybe I do feel a way about what she's saying, but she's trying to do it in a way where I understand where she's coming from, rather than make me feel less than, like, no, girl, I don't like that energy. I can't do it.
Yeah. Because it's like...
And it's a lot of that energy, for sure.
Everywhere. Especially right here in our little city here.
Yeah,
it's sure. Like, who are, like, seriously, like, oh, that's so-and-so on Instagram. Like, oh, really? Like,
they just superficial.
Okay. But it makes you, in turn, feel, like, uncomfortable and self-conscious. Like, oh, I'm in the same room as, oh, my God. Like.
And you know what?
And then you be like, oh, I just got so many, like, babe.
Nothing's wrong. You just came in. They came in. You gonna go home. They gonna go to their home. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
You live here in the city. I live here in the city. You know, you came from the city. So did I. Like, and even that with, I know this probably is not like imposter syndrome at that point, but even with like reaching back to grab people, like that, to me, that's like one of our biggest issues in our city. Is that when we make it, we never go back and say, I'm from Detroit, but let me make it known that I'm finna grab 12 other people and bring them with me. Even if you put them up on game and nobody knows who they are, and then 3 years later, they, you know what I'm saying? Right, it's not even like we even...
People don't sow seeds here.
It's like, you from Detroit?
That's from here.
I'm scared of you. Like,
you know, it's so funny because people always ask me that, like, what do you think about that? Like, why do you think that is? I literally couldn't tell you because I'm not really the person that's outside. So I don't really know how people think. I don't know what they be on. I just know it's always been that way. But I'm not the person to be on that. I can't wait to be like, all right, let's do audition vibes. So we can see what's here, and then we can see how we can work with it and see what we can do about it. That's what I want to do. I don't know about everybody else. Everybody's heart just not in a receiving place to even understand. It's not about nothing but love at this point.
At this point.
It's just not. It's not about the money. It's not about your house, your cars, because we gonna die. You can't take it.
Anything with you.
So let's just love the people. But they think the cars, the hair, the body, I was getting ready to get into it, but I'm not gonna
I felt you said. I felt that.
I was getting ready to get. It was about to get real personal because I just seen the people in my head. I'm not gonna describe them like that, but yeah, it's just I'm just gonna do my part. That's all I can do.
Yeah,
that's all I can do. I wish I had the answer. Everybody not like me. Everybody don't have the heart that we have. So it's like, all right, I'm praying. I'm really praying genuinely, not even to be funny.
Mm-hmm. But that's something I learned too, like making sure that, like, treat people the way you want to be treated. Like, people say that all the time, but honestly, everybody heart not the same. Like you just said, like the way they want to be treated may not be the way I want to be treated. So handle me with care, babe. Like, handle me how you would handle your moms.
Because everybody a little off.
Oh, mighty God.
With the parent thing. I have both mine, so I have a different experience. But, it's just like, handle me the way you would handle your Birkin bag. Because you will handle that. The value that when you walk out the house, you feel like the best thing walking. I want you to act like I'm that bad.
Wipe me down when you're done with me.
Take care of me. Be nice. Don't gentle. No juice. Don't do that to my purse. Don't put my purse on the floor. Don't do that to my girl. Don't. Come in here with me. Yeah, that's the vibe. I think they understand that analogy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. But I just think that's like imposter syndrome is like, first of all, I didn't know it was like legit called until like a few months ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I've been dealing with this my whole life and never knew it.
Why you feel like that?
Because it's not talked about.
What sticks out to you to where you relate to it?
Walking into a room, being qualified to be in that room, and feeling like I shouldn't be there. Like, I don't even belong here. Like,
why though? What do you think?
Especially like within the like recent, maybe like 3 to 5 years. I'm like, how did I end up in a room with? Like, what?
I feel you.
Like, how did I meet what? Like,
you know what I think it is? Possibly. We've already told ourselves, we already gave ourselves a ceiling before we got there. So now we're here and it's like, okay, this is not the vision. Because I didn't know I could even be here. Why am I even right here with you? Because I literally, that's my whole life story when I just be in places and then just be like, all right, well, here we are, guys. Here we go with the people. Amen. I don't know how, but God.
Yeah.
But it is a thing to where it's like, I be talking to myself in my head. I'm an overthinker and it's really sick. But it'd be like, okay, rise to the occasion. Like, okay, so ask questions. Like, okay. It just be so much in my head. So I understand. I really understand. But I do feel like maybe we have had our set of insecurities and circumstances that we had hope for the future, but we were just so dead and stuck on the circumstances that we were given that we didn't even see, like, oh, this is my process to get to here. This is not my circumstance, and then I got here. This is the process to get here. So that means I'm supposed to be here because they all had their process.
True.
So it's just like, this is one of those things you just gotta really like dig deep. I hate getting deep because that's all I do is get deep. But it's just like, it's really deep. Everything is deep. Like from the way you think, the way you do this, that. It's literally attached to something that you made up in your mind. It's really sick.
No, I just think, I mean, we have to think, literally. A lot of people don't think. Like when you say think before you speak, a lot of people just speak. They just say whatever comes to their mind. Sure. But if you actually think about somebody else's emotions, if you actually think about, okay, what type of damage or harm am I going to cause this person? If you actually think about your actions before you do them, like, I think the world would be totally different because It's actually a process before.
Yeah. And you don't really realize things until you actually are experiencing it yourself. Like something I could say is, in my last relationship, we had these arguments. He always be like, because I would be like, why are you screaming at me? Don't scream at me. You hurt my feelings. And I'm making it more about how you're delivering it, because you don't necessarily know how to articulate how you feel to me as a man. So you feel like the passion and the yelling is just how you know how to get it across. Mm-hmm. But I'm stuck on the, you're yelling at me. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to go home. I don't want to talk about it because you're yelling, and talk to me when you. It's like, why aren't you focusing on the fact that this is the only way I know how to articulate it? You know me. So you know that this is the only way I know how to communicate it right now. It may not always be this way. But if this is the way I articulate how I feel, can you just talk about how I feel and not how I'm saying it? Because we're never going to get to how I feel. And I didn't understand it until I got to a point where it was like, I'm going to just start telling these people how I feel, and however it comes out, it might come out a little irritable. But I need them not to focus on that part. I need them to just focus on what I'm saying, because I don't know how to articulate it in a pleasant way. And when I realized that and said it out loud, I'm like, dang, that's what he was saying. Mm. So you really don't understand it until you're in it yourself. But people do be a little oblivious too, though, because they'll go through something and just still be the same. But I'm really passionate about changing into who I'm supposed to be, and not who I've told myself I couldn't be, but also sitting outside the window like I want to be her. Mm-hmm. So the way I think, people just really don't. They're not present enough to even think about it, because they think they're going to be here forever and keep getting money and keep their makeup done, their nails, and flying out and trips and money. And it's like, we really live a real life, and I know how real it can get behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. But you want to keep this facade going, so now you have this fake life that you're living in your head until something hits you. Yeah. Then you want to kill yourself. Forget it. I'm dead. I want to go. And it's like, no, just deal with the issues you've pushed aside for so long. That's why you can't be yourself, because the things that are a part of you, you have pushed it away or brushed it under the rug. So now you just want to live like all the Instagram girls and the,
Yeah, that comparison, man.
It's like, really sad.
Comparison kills is like multifaceted, because literally, like, so many people are committing suicide right now. Like,
so many, is breaking my heart.
Just based upon what they see. And then, like, it's killing who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're becoming this totally different person just based off the imposter syndrome.
For sure.
Like, you're just not even true to who you are. And that's where it gets sticky, because I noticed, like, in my friend group, it's changed because people don't know who they are. And like you said, right now, I can't.
Just not right now.
I can't, like, try to create who you are, or like watch you become somebody that you're not, because it's not you. So when you figure out who you are, when you come back to yourself and you realize this really is not me, and I just been fronting, and she really knows who I am, then I'm walking back with open arms. But until then, just like you said, protecting my space and setting boundaries, I can't. It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I can't care for you. It's not that I don't want our friendship to work, but I just can't.
This is not good for you right now.
Because I want you to fix you. Because I can't fix you.
And it'd be hard.
But my heart's so big, I'll be like, no, just stay close. Don't go too far. Just stay right here. And then,
I got over it. I was that girl all the way up until this year. It had to stop, because it just was, I was given too many chances to prove themselves the same. You're not going to change. And you're not going to change if I say change.
Right.
You're not going to change if I say, hey, that hurt me. Don't do that no more. And I know you can't change it, because I can't change certain things about myself overnight. So until I can see growth by way of just watching your actions from afar, and I see it, it looks different. Your face looks different. Everything about you is different. Then we can have a conversation, because I know things have changed. But until then, I love you. I still, hey, how you doing? What's going on? All is well. You want me to pray? What you want to do? It's not giving, let's go on a trip. Let's be together. What you doing, girl?
Pass.
Tell you my business. No.
Pass.
I can't. We don't even think the same at this point.
Pass.
Yeah, I love you. From over there. The stories.
Watch my story. You'll find everything out about me. So, let's talk about your Instagram.
Okay, it's giving. What is it giving?
So you have such a unique style, right?
Oh, thanks.
So when you came out in that black and white, I said, "Oh, hecky no!" I would have never thought to put the outfit together the way you did it,
and did put it together,
okay?
And because it was so much that I had to do to put it together.
But that outfit was fire, and not even just that outfit, but like some of the stuff that you put on Instagram, like how you dress, how you look, it's just like so. Like you could tell that you're yourself. Like you could tell that you figured out who you are, and if you have not, like. Keep doing what you're doing.
You're helping my mental health
Tiller said,
right
keep doing
now.
what you're doing. But like you're just like this dope individual, and what stuck out to me, and I know I'll keep going back to it, but first impressions are everything. Mm-hmm. When I met you for the first time, you never gave that like, who is this girl in here? Like, who is she?
What did I say?
You didn't say nothing, but I'm saying like you didn't give that vibe. Like, hey, what you doing in here? Like what? I'm Asia. Like, what are you doing here? Like, you never gave that vibe. You never gave, like, I'm just this. Never gave that. And so, like, from the way you dress, from the way you carry yourself, you're such a dope individual.
Thank you.
What keeps you grounded to stay authentically you? Because it's so easy in this society, like we've been talking about, on social media, just to, like, switch up real quick. But, like, to stay who you are, like, even when you came in today, I was just like, oh, my God, she remembers me. Like, it's just, nowadays, you just don't get that vibe from people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't get that vibe. You don't get that vibe from your family. So, let alone just, you know, somebody that you met, like, how do you stay grounded?
Well, one, God gave me a heart that just cares too much. And so because I care about everything and I'm an empath, so I genuinely care about people. So I think that's what really keeps me on top of the fact that I have a relationship with God. Mm-hmm. I think that keeps me because my mind has always thought the opposite of how people choose to think. And don't get me wrong, I have my human things that is relatable to a lot of people, and they can say, oh, yeah, you do that too. And it's like, yeah, we human, so we gonna do stuff alike sometimes. But I just never wanted to be the girl. Who is you? Like, it's like, what am I getting from that? I really love people, and I love to get to know people. I love to learn people's stories. I like to laugh a lot. So if you're funny and I find it out, I'm gonna have a good time. Like, I don't know. It's the heart God gave me, honestly, because I really couldn't tell you exactly what it is. But the people around me also, though. Everybody around me is themselves. I don't really have people around me. Well, I had people around me that weren't themselves yet. But the people that are still around me have always been themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's admirable to me to see people be themselves, and it's unapologetic. So me constantly seeing it and constantly being inspired by it all the time, it just helps me to be like, okay, girl, I know the girl went on the boat with the man and he had the flowers and the bear and the rose petals and the things, and they went to Dubai and they did this stuff. But you ain't got to do it because everybody's cool. Mm-hmm. Around you, they're living their real life, so you don't even have to feel the pressure. And I feel like the people who feel the pressure to be like people and actually go and start doing the stuff, they're around people who aren't themselves either.
Wow.
So they don't really have the example to say, okay, let me just try to see who I am then, because she is herself all the time. She the same way. She been the same way. And I love that for her. So I don't feel like people have that.
Yeah.
They might have it on social media. There are people that you can look up to and say they're authentic, but in close proximity, who can hold them accountable to it, and they be okay and not take it as judgment. Right. People don't have that. I got a whole bunch of people that's, Asia, what are you doing? My best friend, Sprout Up to Sparkle. Anytime. On that tour, she was with me the whole time. So anytime.
And I love her. I love her so much. Just because her vibe. And I was like, who, like, what?
Yeah, she played too much. But.
Like, I love, like, and then it's what you said, having that community and having people around you that hold you accountable.
And you don't take it as judgment. Because don't get me wrong, they'll hold me accountable and I'll buck up against it sometimes, but I respect it because I know myself and they're going to remind me who I am. And whether I go and do that thing or not, I'm going to be like, I mean, they was right. I just didn't feel like doing what it was that I usually do this time. But yeah, people don't have that. People don't have it. People don't have it in them to even be humble enough to accept somebody else telling them about themselves.
That's true.
And it ain't always easy. So don't make it seem like it's easy because it's not. But
Humility
it is what
key.
it is.
Seriously, humility is key.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, girl. Oh, my God. So before we go, guys, I want to play a quick game with you called Dope or Nope. So it's pretty much like this or that.
Oh, I could just say that's dope or nope. I love that.
So in this case, we won't be doing like trends or anything. It'll more so be like a versus situation.
All is well.
Okay, so let's get into it. Joe or Tyrese?
Tyrese is dope. Tyrese is dope.
It would have to be Joe for me.
Love you, Joe, though.
Brandy or Monica?
I looked at you like it was a thing. It's definitely Brandy for me.
That one is hard for me.
Hard. Monica.
All caps.
No, Monica. I love you.
That
but
one
it's
is
a hard Brandy. People always compare me to Brandy's.
I can see that. Oh, I can see that. So I can see. That's hard for me. I can't. Fantasia or Jennifer Hudson?
Fantasia. I love Fantasia. Have you ever seen her perform?
No.
Oh, my God.
No. I really wanted to go this past time, but no.
I don't want to talk about the past time.
Oh, Lord. Okay, next one. Escape or SWV?
SWV. I love Escape. It's SWV for me. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TLC or Destiny's Child?
What? Okay, what? Wow. That was pretty good. I'm going to have to say Destiny only because I'm a singer, so I'm a sucker for the harmonies and the musicality. So it got to be Destiny. TLC is so legendary, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it got to be Destiny, child.
I feel like both of them are like really like legendary for real. Like
absolutely.
Like, that's like,
but it's like I ain't even gonna get into that because ain't nobody about to tell me nothing about nothing.
Erykah Badu or Jill Scott?
Dang, what in the world is going on there? Oh God.
Want to live our life like it's golden?
Because Jill in my head is my godmama in my heart.
Period. Jill, you hear that?
So, but I don't know all the words to Jill's songs. I know lots of more words from Erykah. So I gotta give it to Erykah.
Understood. Maxwell or Eric Benet? I know it's Maxwell for me.
Yeah,
It's Maxwell.
this is hard because I grew up in a household where my mama played both of them because she was obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was obsessed by default. Let's give it to Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty Ricky or B2K? You don't have to refer to the concert, but my answer is a hard Pretty Ricky.
A hard Pretty Ricky?
A hard Pretty Ricky. Hard.
I had to choose my words carefully because I'm about to see them in just a second.
B2K, okay, so wait. So B2K is more like growing up age appropriate. Like,
yes.
Like, you listen to B2K.
You know, that's where
Pretty
my
Ricky.
mind went. It went to the appropriation of it and why I love them. Pretty Ricky
Is my grown
was
self.
the vibes. But Pretty Ricky was the vibes when I was in like 5th grade. Hip rolling.
Can we play
I'm
house
from the
and
east
stuff?
side. So.
Oh, West Siders did it too, baby.
East Side go crazy with the hips.
You probably right.
They do with the competitions. I gotta give it to Pretty. I ain't gonna lie because, yeah, it's Pretty for sure.
Mm-hmm. Jeezy or Gucci? I'm gonna give it to Jeezy because he's Snowman.
I'm
Snowman
gonna give
always
it to Jeezy. I'm gonna give it to Jeezy because Jeezy. I always thought Jeezy was from Detroit. And
I did too.
When I found it out, I was just like, it doesn't make sense.
It don't add up.
He doesn't even identify to wherever he's from because he sounds
every year
and seems like a Detroit.
And every year
Man
you come back and see us. So I'm just trying to figure out.
It's Jeezy for me.
Tony Braxton or Anita Baker.
So the disrespect that happened when I heard it the first time,
it caught you off guard.
And didn't even dwell on it because it was just like, oh, that's terrible. I'm going to give it to Anita. Reason being, I just was like, I study a lot of videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. The girl was going crazy writing. In that time frame. And then today, I can... Anita. Is Anita?
Auntie.
Anita for me.
Auntie just came and blessed us. Not to... Oh, don't. Not on the show, Lord. Look. You okay over there? Oh, I done made you cough off that last one, Lord. Y'all done took
pretty much
my sis out, Lord. Thank you so much for being on the show. Oh, you about you all right over there.
All right, we good.
But thank you for being on the show. I so appreciate it. I love this conversation because
I love that you had a real conversation with me.
And that's what this is all about. Having real conversations, the hard ones. Like every conversation I have is not always an easy conversation I have. But it's all about having the conversation and then what do we do from there? Acknowledging the problem.
Please have the hard conversations and then what do we do from there at all times? Because the people don't want to talk. And so they cut people off for no reason that they probably needed. And so that was my bad. Shout out to therapy version. I mean, volume 1. Mm-hmm. Volume 2 may be a little different because I know a little different things now.
That's a word right there. We're going to snap on that right there. That's a word. So make sure y'all go download, stream, blow up this stuff, y'all, because she's such a dope individual. She's such a dope artist. Make sure y'all go listen to her. Follow her on Instagram at Asia.0.
That's my girl.
Blow her
IG
know. Up. Period, pointblank.com.edu.org, all of it.
Okay, period.
Thank you so much again for being on the show. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Go dope.
Anytime.
Go home.